So he starts out talking about freedom, personal freedom. Those are his first three words. And yet the images that played underneath those words are images of January 6th and images of abortion. Not, of course, of abortion, but of signs that talk about abortion. He would never dream, he would never be so courageous as to show what an abortion actually is, because people don't support it when they know what it actually is. But January 6th, this is the hallmark of what Joe Biden is running on. He's running on the platform of demonizing all conservatives, all Republicans, and all fair-minded individuals who question the stuff that happened around the 2020 election. He's running on branding every single person as a domestic terrorist, as an insurrectionist, as an extremist. This is extremely dangerous stuff. It gives you the chills even more in the wake of Tucker Carlson being fired from Fox News, reportedly because Rupert Murdoch didn't like his coverage of January 6th. We have now very few individuals, very few venues, very few platforms that allow you to pursue reality, to stand up for truth, and to expose corruption. Joe Biden is actually bragging about, he started his re-election bid with images of January 6th. Even though the majority of the American people believe that federal agents not only staged and encouraged, but incited and provoked the violence that did happen on that day. And then Joe Biden's Department of Justice is relentlessly charging and convicting individuals who were associated with January 6th on charges that vastly outweigh any crimes that were committed. And in the meantime, due process has been violated to the extreme. That's what Joe Biden's running on. And abortion, of course. Now, I know it's very popular among Republican establishment consultants to encourage Republican candidates to stay away from abortion. It's a losing issue, especially with suburban women. That's what consultants tell Republican candidates and Republican politicians who are already in office. And when Republicans stay quiet on abortion, they lose on it. When conservatives refuse to push back on the lies the Democrats tell about abortion, they lose on it. But when conservatives and Republicans debunk the lies that the left tells about abortion, we actually win on abortion. We just don't have any conservatives and Republicans that are doing that, so the Democrats think it's a winning issue. These are the two things Joe Biden is starting his re-election bid on. It blows my mind when the Republican establishment and Republican politicians and candidates don't look at what the left tells us and say, they've told us their playbook. We know what they're going to do. Let's build a strategy to counter that and go on offensive against it so we can defeat it. We don't even deserve to win if we don't do that. Okay, so then Joe Biden's video goes on and he highlights what he would like his pivotal achievement to be, and that is his Build Back Better achievement. And I personally get the chills every time I see those words, Build Back Better, because it's not just a stupid acronym that a politician made up. All politician acronyms are stupid and I can't stand them. But Build Back Better, Joe Biden lifted directly from the World Economic Forum. You can look this up. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go to the World Economic Forum's website. You can look up Build Back Better. The World Economic Forum. This is Klaus Schwab's outfit. This is ESG, quote unquote, stakeholder capitalism. This is nasty, nasty stuff. Build Back Better came directly from the World Economic Forum. Joe Biden hired people who had previously worked with the World Economic Forum to be part of his advisory team and his administration, and they brought Build Back Better with them. Joe Biden's agenda is in perfect alignment with the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum that wants us to eat bugs, that wants to tax us into oblivion, that wants businesses to be woke, to pay for abortions, that wants to ban fossil fuels. The World Economic Forum that wants our economy to run like the Chinese Communist Party runs China's economy. This state-controlled apparatus where if you don't do what the Chinese Communist Party wants you to do, then you're penalized in the market. You don't get access to loans. You don't get access to do business. You potentially aren't allowed to send your children to school and to travel internationally. You aren't allowed to have internet or go to the gym. They control you via the social credit score with penalty mechanisms. Joe Biden imported that from the World Economic Forum, and he's bragging about this in his re-election video. So if you and I sitting here, if we as Republican voters, as conservatives in the conservative movement, don't recognize this, if our politicians and our candidates for office don't acknowledge the reality of this political enemy that we're facing and the ideology that motivates our political enemy, then we're not going to fight well against it, are we? And if we don't fight against it, what happens? We don't win. And it becomes the law of the land. There's only one American flag, I think, a couple American flags shown in this video, but you know what's shown umpteen times? Pride. Pride shirts. Pride signs. Pride gear. But what is pride? Pride is not just the chief sin here. Pride is the moniker of the LGBTQIA agenda, the LGBTQIA lobby. It's not just lobbying for equal rights for all people, regardless of their sexual orientation. That's not what it's about at all. We all support that. That's not controversial. People in our country who are gay or lesbian or bi already have equal rights. The LGBTQIA lobby, their agenda is not about tolerance and inclusion. The lobby for the LGBTQIA agenda has in its direct object to destroy our religious freedom, to force their agenda on children, to groom children in radical gender ideology, and to silence you if you speak out against this. I know it's controversial even among conservatives and Republicans to talk about gay marriage and to say, the government should not legalize gay marriage, at least in the sense that the government should not allow same-sex couples to be part of the institution of marriage, because they're not. And I know this is very controversial. Some people are gonna be like, oh, Liz, don't dive into this. But hear me out here, because this obviously isn't about gay people. It's not about gay people having the freedom to make a decision to love who they want or live with who they want. Like, they're allowed to do that, and that's fine. But when we allow government officials, politicians, to make decisions about how to redefine words that already existed before we existed, then we're giving them the power to redefine anything, to redefine any quote-unquote truth, and that makes them authoritarian. They can redefine any word for any political purpose. That's an extremely dangerous thing that's happening right now in our nation. Gay marriage may have paved the way for it, but right now, the LGBTQIA lobby wants to redefine everything. They want to redefine man. They want to redefine woman. They want to redefine sex. They want to redefine gender. They want to redefine equality. They want to redefine religious freedom, everything. And they want to install themselves as the arbiters of truth, as the authoritarians. Joe Biden stands for this agenda. This agenda, his administration actually stated that they are supportive of bodily mutilation surgeries for children in the name of gender ideology. Early interventions, the White House called it. They support early interventions for children that suffer from gender disorders. Like, this is nasty, nasty stuff. And it's all over Joe Biden's announcement video. When he says that he wants to protect our rights, do you know what photograph or what image, what video was playing underneath those words? Gun control. He was talking to activists from Everytown for Gun Safety, one of the most prominent gun control groups in the country, a group that wants to take away your AR-15s, wants the government to confiscate them. And make no mistake, the gun control lobby doesn't want to stop with AR-15s. They're just using that because the AR-15s look scary to some people, because the gun control lobby can call them weapons of war, and most people don't know that AR-15s were actually made as a civilian rifle. They were distinctly separate from a weapon of war. Not that that makes any difference, but it's a phrase that the left has latched onto: assault weapons, weapons of war, to try to frighten everyday Americans into thinking that it's okay for the government to take away your right to keep and bear arms. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.